So I haven't posted a video in the last couple of days because I've been thinking about what's going on around the world. Well, not really the world, but what's going on in America. And I don't think really talking about the issue is going to help it because what's going on is something that I feel like it's beyond our control. People are going to believe what they want to believe. People are going to do what they want to do, regardless if it's right or wrong. Excuse me. And I think the biggest issue is this: is that I think as this nation, we did not turn our backs on one another. If you think about it, we actually turned our backs on God. I think this nation fell so far from God that we have become divided. And I think with division, it allows things to happen like separation. Um, it allows us to nitpick one another and attack each other, and to be honest, I think that's Satan's biggest plan in the U.S. is to divide us, separate us, and attack us. Because once you divide this nation, we're not only divided by our political views or our political stance, um, our personal lives, but also our church life too. The church then becomes divided. Statistically speaking, is that I know that the Christianity belief is declining in the U.S., but they say 65% of Americans are Christians, and I find that very, very hard to believe because if 65% of Americans are truly Christians, we wouldn't be having the issues we've been having today. I feel like um, we would come together, and we would love one another. That's God's greatest commandment, is to love one another. Now, it's crazy because the word says that if my people who are called by my name shall turn from their wicked ways and pray, you know, God will heal this nation. And I don't see a result of that. I feel like this is the day and age where, statistically speaking, of how we are majority Christians, I don't think that's the case anymore. I think that it's down and chosen to the very few, who should come together and pray. Otherwise, we're not going to see a change. We're not. We are not going to see a change at all because it first starts off with politics, and then it starts off with government, and then from government to state, state to schools, schools to home, and what's next? Churches. It starts somewhere. It's a ticking time bomb right now. Excuse me. And I believe that if we don't pray and if we don't seek God, then nothing's gonna happen. And I think that's the solution for this issue. Sorry about that. My mouth was a little dry. But that's how we are going to change this nation. If we as believers repent, pray, and seek the Lord, humble ourselves, boy, America will not be the same. Now, it's not about who's going for office, who's president, who's going to be the next president, who's the government. It's about us. If we can move mountains with the smallest faith, let's combine that faith and let's move this nation. I don't care what race you are. I don't care what background you come from. I don't even care what you think about this video. I think this video is the answer to what needs to be done. Because we sure not loving one another. And we're sure not seeking God in this nation. America has fallen so short of the glory of God. I think it's time we rise up as believers. Pray, let our voice be heard. Let God do a move in this nation. Because He's the God of this city, He's the God of this state, the God of this nation. And I think we've forgotten that. Stay blessed.